There we go. There we go. I'm live. Yeah. Look at that. Make final adjustments on my hair here. I can already feel the wig starting to get, it's losing a little bit of its luster because it's getting dirty. And I really don't know how to clean a wig real well. So it sucks. Hold on. I'm going to send a shout out here. There we go. Yeah. I had to do that. All right, so good morning. Hey, how you doing? How's everybody going? Look at this. I actually have a t-shirt. I'm not in my night clothes, going, hey, how's it going, guys? And I have my coffee. Yeah, it's doing good. It's doing real good. Well, relatively speaking, everything is it's all good. Yeah, here we are, the 18th of May. So, we're on the downhill slide. May's finishing out. And it's a really nice day out today. I checked the temperature. It's almost 65 degrees outside. It's going to get up to 75 today. It's sunny. There are no clouds. And the last couple of days here have been real nice. I mean, we've had a couple of days that were kind of cloudy. There were 1 or 2 days this week that were kind of cloudy, but Wednesday was picture beautiful. I mean, really, it was, and I was doing this. I was actually driving around with the windows down out in the country and really enjoying it. It was the first time that you could actually do that. The only problem was at night it got cloudy, and the moment those clouds rolled in and covered the sun, man, I mean, you just you felt the chill. As long as the sun was out, it was beautiful. The minute the sun went away, it got chilly. So, because the temperatures have been in the mid 70s. We haven't really gotten up into the 80s yet. We haven't started getting that sustainable heat. So since we're hitting the 80s all the time, mid 70s, it's really dependent on whether or not you have cloud cover. If it's clear, it's going to be beautiful. The minute it starts to cloud up, it's going to get a little chilly. So what are you going to do? You just roll with it, baby. That's all you do. You just roll with it. So week that was. So what am I? Well, the title of this is The Season's End. And there's a reason for that. And it has to do with what I'm wearing today, Yeah, so what's been happening? Well, I actually did manage to write an article. My first one in a week, about 2.5 weeks, for Monsters and Critics. Yeah, something just came up and I wrote a quick article, and I've been thinking of new things to write. So the fact that I'm actually thinking about that, maybe, dealing with being injured, dealing with going to PT, dealing with depression, dealing with a bunch of other stuff, it just got me to where I wasn't writing that much. So I'm hoping to get back into the swing of it because, that's $10 right there. And right now I need the money. My tax refund has still not come. In fact, I'm going to check right now because I know it hasn't. My tax refund has still not come. It's been 5 weeks now. And no do, re, mi. And something happened that I had hoped was not going to happen, and payment for my insurance came in. So right now I am at a negative balance to my bank. About $30 in debt. An insurance payment. Yeah. Damn it. Which means they're going to hit me with a $35 fund. Hate that. So anyway, if anyone would like to contribute to my my coffee, send me a few bucks because right now I don't have money for gas. I have about $45 for gas, and I'm gonna need like 20 of that today. So if anyone would like to send me a few bucks, tell me who you are. If you send me money, and when I get my tax refund, I will return it to you. I promise. You know, I need like a couple of hundred to tide me over till the end of the month. And I'm hoping by that time I will get my tax refund. If anyone sends me anything today, and I'm actually going to post this on my Facebook page as well, and I will make a notice on my blog post. But if anyone sends me, like, if you send me $10, I will send you $10 back when I get it. Seriously, when the $10, when I get my tax refund, which is going to be about $4,600. It really is. When I get that back, I will send you the money back. I will PayPal it back to you. You know, please, seriously, I mean it. I just need like a couple of hundred. Well, actually, I'm going to need about 250 now. I'm going to need about $250 to get me through till the end of the month. And so if you PayPal me that money, whatever you send me, I will send it back to you. I appreciate that a lot of people have been helping me out. Lynette helped me out with my rent again this month. And I already told her, you know, when I get my tax refund, I'm going to send you the money back, because I had been planning on getting the tax refund to cover my rent. And I still have to pay my cable bill and everything else. So yeah, if you do send me anything, like you send me $10, I will send you $10 back. I promise. And you know me. You know where you can find me. So it's like, seriously. Yeah, I need about $250 to get me through till the end of the month, because I knew that insurance payment was coming through. I wasn't certain when. I thought it wasn't going to be for like another week. And now I'm down to, let me see what I've got on my credit card. Let me see what I've got on my credit card. Jesus. And I've only got $26 available on my credit card, which means, man, I can't even buy gas. I'm going to have trouble buying gas today. Seriously. Oh my God. I'm going to have trouble. How the hell? No, how the hell did that happen? I'm checking my finances here. Sorry. What the hell did I spend money on? I was pretty certain I had more than that. Another charge came through that I wasn't expecting, which would have left me with over $40, but now I don't have that. So I have $26 to my name right now. And that's probably going to go into gas today. And after that, I'm broke. So if you can help out, I would appreciate it. Like I said, anything you send me in this period, as soon as I get my tax refund, I'll send it back to you. Just let me know who you are, and you will get your money back. I just need to cover about $250 this week, because right now I probably have about 6 meals left. Of course, right now, the food I've got, I can stretch for probably another 8 days. And then after that, I'm done. I don't have any groceries in the house. You know, I'm sitting here laughing about this shit. And really, there was a time like last year. Yeah, I would have been like seriously going out of my freaking mind. So again, if you can help out, I would appreciate it. You will get your money back. I swear. Promise. I just need to get through this month until my taxes clear. And this is really the longest I've ever waited for a refund. And that's going back to the days in the 90s and even in the 80s when you used to get the check from the IRS. I think the longest I ever waited for a refund back in the 80s and 90s when you were waiting for a check was like just under a month. You know, I filed my taxes 5 weeks ago. And where's my money, Donnie? Where's my money? Where's my money? Jesse Pinkman would say, where's my money, bitch? And I'm hearing this from a lot of people who were getting refunds that the refunds are actually taking forever to get to them. Because right now, let's face it, I know the IRS had to lay off a lot of people during the shutdown. And they had even said this is going to affect us badly because, well, asshole shut everything down right as tax season was starting. You know, nobody was really filing their taxes until after January because there's still a lot of people are still waiting on W-2s and 1040s and stuff like that. 1099s, you know, they're still waiting on that shit. So asshole shuts everything down. IRS lays a bunch of people off. And then they said, well, this is going to affect getting your money back. And people are noticing it's taking forever to get their refunds. In the past, there was once I actually filed our taxes. I think it was one of the first, it was like the second or third time I filed my taxes online. And we got back like a $3,000 refund. And I had it in the bank like 8 days after I filed my taxes. And that was like using TurboTax. That was like using TurboTax on my computer and sending it off to the federal government. And then like 8 days later, there's the money. You know, it's in my bank account. This is like 5 weeks, guys. Come on. I know right now, the most important thing the federal government is worrying about is not taxes. I mean, I know a lot of people will say, oh, government workers are all lazy and shit. Actually, I've worked in government. I've worked for state governments. I work for 2 state governments. I work for Pennsylvania and I work for Indiana. And rest assured, there is nothing different between the people working in government and the people working in big business. Trust me, I know, because I worked in business. I can't think of the name of what I want to call it right now, but you know, I've worked in various businesses over the years for 35 years. Trust me, there are people in there who are just as jacked and screwed up as what we think of as people in government. I think it's because when you're dealing with customer service people, like if you go to the DMV or you go to anything that involves filling shit out and filing papers and stuff like that, you run into the bureaucracy and nobody likes to deal with that shit. Here's one thing I've noticed about the bureaucracy. If you know what the hell you're doing, the bureaucracy goes real fast. It does. I mean, 2015, June of 2015, I filed for my name change and a change for the name on my birth certificate. I did my research before I got to Indiana. Indiana, let's remember, I'm talking about Indiana here. So I did all my research and I knew what I needed to do to change my name on my own. And guess what? It wasn't that big of a deal. I filled out the paperwork at the courthouse and filed it and paid my filing fees. And then I went and bought my newspaper ad like you're supposed to and told them, you know, send the stuff to me when you're all done. Here's my address. Make sure when it's all said and done, I have this. And then when I showed up in court in November, I had all my documentation with me. $260 for all of that. And I had to drive to Indiana twice. I mean, that was an extra expense driving to Indiana. But I mean, that was it. It wasn't like I had to jump through a tremendous amount of hoops to get this done because I figured out what I needed to do ahead of time. And when you have all your shit together and you're dealing with people who have to deal with people all the time, especially at the government level, it's surprising how nice they are to you. I had that happen in Pennsylvania when I got my plates. I had actually went there earlier and I knew I needed my title. So I went and said, is this my title? Is it good? And the guy said, yeah, it's good, And they did a VIN check on my car for my title. He says, I'm going to do this as a courtesy so we don't have to go through this again when you come back. Because I said, I don't have my insurance cards and right now I don't have the money. I said, I have to get the money together. So when I came back at the end of the month, I had my Indiana title with the VIN check on it. I had my insurance cards and I had my driver's license. And that's what you need to present to transfer a title from one state to Pennsylvania. And the woman is like, I was the first one for her, and she's starting to rattle off. And I go, here's my title. The VIN check's already been done on it. And she looked at it and she goes, oh, yeah, I see that. That's good. And I said, here's my driver's license. Here's my insurance cards. And she's like, oh, you're all ready to go. I said, I know exactly what I needed to do. And I said, I don't want to be that person who is first up here who has no idea what's going on. I said, I do not want to be that person. I'm your first person of the day. I want to make it easy. And she was real happy. She was real happy. It's just like 5 minutes. We were done. Here's $95. Give me my plate. That was it. That was it, baby. That was it. It really was. So that's a lesson. Therein lies the lesson. You have to remember, people at the customer service level in government, they're going to have bad days just like people working at Target or people working at Walmart. And they're going to have to deal with an inordinate number of jerks. Even more so because when you go to like the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, everybody's already in a shitty mood. They walk in the door. We know this. I've done it. I did it one time. I blew up at the DMV one time. Or BMV as we call it in Indiana. But people who work in government really do work. I mean, I used to bust my ass. And I knew the people in my department busted my ass too when I was here in Pennsylvania. But getting back to what I was saying about the federal government. This current federal government, all these assholes seem to be concerned with, and by assholes, I mean the people way at the top, are giving tax breaks to rich people, banning abortion, making certain that LGBTQ plus people like me have no fucking rights. And, oh yeah, while we're at it, let's make sure the crook that's in the fucking White House, we protect his ass at all costs because we know his taxes are dirty and we know the Mueller report says this son of a bitch needs to go to jail. That's what they're doing right now. Tax refunds? Fuck you guys. We don't care. We got to keep our boss out of jail. We're more concerned with that shit. Seriously, it really is. And I know, what I just said, Donnie's a crook. Yeah. And we know that abortion, they're trying to ban it for like people like us. Guys like Donnie, a sitting president who admitted to paying off a porn star for sex to hush her up because he had sex with her while in the Oval Office. Yeah. The dude's a crook. The dude would get any of his mistresses an abortion, and I'm certain he has gotten a couple of abortions for his mistresses. And I know anyone watching this video, Donnie, you want to sue me? I know you sued Deutschland Bank for $2 billion when they called you a fucking deadbeat for reneging on a $500 million loan. Go ahead, sue me for $2 billion. You really think you're going to get $2 billion from me? Do you? Come at me, bro. It's up to you to prove that you have never bought an abortion for one of your mistresses. And I know you've had more than one. Hell, for all I know, you got more than one right now. Probably. So sue me. Yeah, sue me, dude. Come at me. Come at me, bro. I don't care. I'm 62 years old. I'm a suicide threat. What are you going to do to me? In other news, in other news, yeah, I wrote a little. Like I said, I wrote an article for Monsters and Critics. I'm thinking of some new stuff to do. I know that this is going to be we're coming up. This tomorrow is the last day of Game of Thrones, and it's going to be a sad day for a lot of people. I know it's going to be a sad day for Rachel, my friend Rachel Simbakis of Snarking Dead, because she has been recapping Game of Thrones like in its entirety. And tomorrow is Monday will actually be her last recap. So, although knowing her, she will probably watch it Sunday night, and she'll probably not put out the recap until way early Monday morning because she knows in America, stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be her last recap. And I know how I felt when I did my last recap for Sense8, which was only like 2 seasons in a movie. And I only recapped 2 seasons of Orphan Black. But I know how it feels when you get to that end. And it's like, oh man, this is it. She's been doing recaps on Game of Thrones for Christ years now. I think she's done every season. Actually, here I go. I'm checking. Yeah, I'm checking. Shouldn't be checking. I want to say she started season 3. Gotta double check. Getting there. Gotta go to Snarking Dead recap. Let me see. Game of Thrones. She has been recapping since season 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 seasons she's been doing this. Yeah. That's a lot. 6 seasons. She is it's going to be a sad day for her. I think she's already geared up for it. But it still hasn't quite hit her yet. I think once she gets her final recap out, she's going to feel it. So if I could, I'd send her some chocolate because I know it's going to be a tough day for her. Yeah. And that's a weird thing. You get caught up in something like that. It's one thing to stick with a series all the way through and watch it, and I've done that. And you get to the end, and it's kind of a bittersweet moment. But when you've recapped as much as she has, when you've written, you should see the stuff she's written about Game of Thrones in the last 2 weeks. I swear to God, this last week, she's probably written about 30 articles. She really has. She's just been on a roll. And then it's going to be over. And that's a big part of her recapping is Game of Thrones. And Vikings is going away. That's another one. I know she's going to be really upset when she stops recapping Vikings, which will leave Walking Dead, American Horror Story, which both of us have this love-hate relationship with recapping American Horror Story. And then, what is it? Nightfall. Is it Nightfall? Knighthood? It's the History Channel. It's only been 2 seasons. She's been recapping that. I gotta look it up now. Yeah, if you go out, if you follow us on the Snarking Dead website, you're going to see all the articles she's written. Oh, really? If you follow us on the Snarking Dead recaps, TV recaps on Facebook, you'll see all the articles that she's written. Nightfall, yeah. And she's recapping Nightfall as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a sad day for her. I mean, at the moment right now, I'm kind of down to just recapping Fear the Walking Dead, which starts up next month. Although I'm going to try, I didn't recap season 4 of, I've been really bad about recapping Black Mirror. I think I'm going to try to get recaps of season 5 of Black Mirror out because it's only going to be 3 episodes. If you had watched my notice, that's what I talked about. June 5th, I believe it's June 5th. June 5th or June 7th. Let me double check. It's going to be June 7th. Or is it June 5th? I don't remember, but June, a couple of weeks from now, Black Mirror is going to drop on Netflix. And they're only releasing 3 episodes this year. Netflix season 3 and 4 released 6. And the conjecture is the 3 episodes they're going to release are going to be more along the lines of what they did with USS Callister and Hated in the Nation, where they're going to be like between 75 and 89 minutes, which were the running times for USS Callister and Hated in the Nation. And in fact, they almost did that with San Junipero. They almost made it like 75 minutes long. They were going to originally add in like 20 or 30 more minutes. So there's some conjecture that these 3 episodes are going to be longer than what they normally put out, instead of being like 45 or 50 minutes each. And most of the time they go about 50 to 55 minutes. They're going to be closer to 75, 80 minutes in length, which would be nice. I don't want to see Black Mirror go away. I have a love-hate relationship with Black Mirror because I love watching it. I love the storytelling, but some of it, I hate it in the fact that some of it is so damn disturbing. There's a couple of episodes of Black Mirror I literally cannot watch again because emotionally they were so disturbing. Really. I mean, it's just, my God, how could you do that to people? It really is. And I know a lot of people have trouble getting past the very first episode of Black Mirror, the national anthem. But trust me, it's a good series. I love it. One of my favorite episodes of all time came from Black Mirror. I rant on about San Junipero all the time. But like I said, I'm working on some other ideas to get some publishing out this week. And seeing as how I'm almost out of gas and I don't have a lot of money. Yeah. I may be sitting at home a lot. Yeah, what can I say? Help me out, people, please. Let me see what else. And an interesting thing came up. We were talking. Well, I don't know how it actually came about. It was going on about something in a thread on Facebook. And I'd actually said, I've had people say, you should write about your Derby experience. And I had a couple of people actually come back and say, yeah, you should. you should write about your derby experience. I was like, really? Started thinking about it. It's like, would anybody really be interested in hearing about my derby experience? I mean, I talk about it all the time here. So I have to give some thought to that, because it has been one of those things that's kind of like, whenever I get an idea, it starts gestating. And I'm like, would there really be any interest in that? And part of me is going, no, not really. But then I think that about every damn story I do. Every story I do, I always think of like, nah, I'm not interested. Nobody's going to be interested in this shit. Yeah, that's me. Nobody's interested. I keep thinking about writing. And that's actually a good sign, because I keep thinking about wanting to get back to writing, and I keep thinking about wanting to do it, and I keep thinking of ideas for stories. It's the execution of actually sitting down and doing it that's getting in the way. I know. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. I've been away from the keyboard for way too long. I need to get back. But I did finish off PT this week. Yeah. I finished off PT. I had a PT session on Monday, and I had a PT session on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, they did my strength and range of motion test. So they were able to determine that my strength is good, especially on my left leg, where I had a lot of weakness due to the fact that the muscle pull I was dealing with was on the left side of my body. And then they did a range of motion test, which involved standing, and like you have to move these little blocks. They throw down like this Y contraption on the floor, and you have to balance on the middle. My balance needs to work. My balance really needs a lot of work. And I think part of it is my knee. One of my knees is weaker than the other. One of my legs is stronger than the other, period, due to skating. And it's the right leg. If you skate a lot, you know, your right leg becomes more developed than your left leg. But one of the things my therapist told me was my range of motion is symmetrical. My left side is basically as good as my right side. So they're not seeing any inherent weakness on my left side compared to my right side, which is, if they had done a range of motion when I first started, I probably would have had a real shitty range of motion on my left side. So my therapist's recommendation is that she says I'm done with PT. You know, originally I was supposed to go for 6 weeks of PT, physical therapy, but she says my range of motion is good. It's symmetrical. She doesn't see any issues. She's going to send a note to Dr. Payne, my doctor, saying that as far as she's concerned, I've completed all the necessary stuff that I needed to do. And, you know, I'm back to health. So I have to go see Dr. Payne at like 6 o'clock on Wednesday, right before our last scrimmage of the travel team season. And I imagine she's going to give me an all clear. So she's going to clear me, which shouldn't be too hard to do since she's already seen me play. She's already seen me scrimmaging and playing, you know, so I would imagine I'm going to get an all clear. So PT is done. Oh, man. And they put me through a lot of exercises. You know, when I had physical therapy on my neck, way back when, it was all about, icing down and putting heat on my neck and massaging it. And this time it was like, do your exercises. Man, did I do a lot of exercises. I was even like the last couple of times, I was like, I'm sweating. You guys, I'm really working this pretty hard. Yeah, PT. And it was real interesting because my PT sessions usually got out around 3:30. And on Monday and Wednesday, I also had practice in Lancaster. So I ended up Monday and Wednesday just staying in Lancaster to kill time. And both times what I do is I'd stop and get something to eat. And then I'd kill time until I had to go to practice. Monday, I actually took a nap. I went to like one of those hibachi grills, all you can eat. And I seriously got a case of, after I got done eating, I was just like, I'm nodding out here. So I was at Barnes and Noble. Yes, they have a Barnes and Noble in Lancaster. And I just went out in the car and took a nap for an hour. I didn't even leave the parking lot. I just put the seat back and just napped out for like an hour. And then I came back in, got a coffee, and sat and read until it was time to go to practice, which was, I was there until like almost 8:30. And then Wednesday I did the same thing. I ate at a place called Clean Eats, which Clean Eats Cafe, which was really good. I love the food that they had. And it's all like more of a healthy choice. In fact, they'll even do meal plans for you. If I had the money, that would be something I would do, because they had really good food. I had like a steak wrap, a lot of protein, and it was just delicious with this real thick yogurt. Oh man, loved it. So then I went and had a coffee and read a little, and went to practice. Yeah. And practice has wound down. I have my Dutchland shirt on today because today's bout day, and it's the last time I'm going to be able to say it's bout day for some time. Today is the last day of the travel team season. Our All Stars are playing York All Stars, and I have my shirt on because I'm actually going to go film. I'm on the comp list. I had mentioned that I will film the bout, so I've got my gear all ready to go. Gonna get down there. I'll probably get down there about 4:30 because that's me. I'll probably get down there about 4:30 and go lay my stuff in there. I'll help set up merch. Not wearing my jersey today. No. My travel team season is over. We were going to, like I've mentioned before, we were going to have a game on June 1st, but it got canceled. So my travel team season ended the 4th of May. So I'm done. Today is the last day for All Stars, and after this, that's it. We're done for the season. So for the rest of the summer, you're not going to hear It's Bout Day again. In fact, not going to say It's Bout Day again until September the 14th of this year. That starts our home team season. Our first home team game is September the 14th. And I want to say I hope to be on the home team, but I have a pretty good idea that I probably will get on the home team. One way or the other, I'll be on the home team. The home team, from what I understand, is a little bit more relaxed. Not a lot of the travel team players actually come out for the home team. And a lot of them take that time off to do stuff, relax and come to practice and keep their skills up. But we have a really compressed and semi-brutal travel team season. We had 4 bouts in 5 weeks. And the All-Stars had 5 bouts in 7 weeks. That's a lot of practice. That's a lot of playing, and it does shit to your body. Yeah, it does. So travel teams, home teams, a little bit more relaxed. But yes, I am going to go. I've already made it clear. Yes, I'm going out for the home team. I do intend to play. I intend to be on the home team. If I'm not, it's because I'm a complete slacker. But yeah, I will be on the home team. I'm pretty sure. I'm hoping. No, I think I will. I think I will be on the home team. So, but technically speaking, we can say it's bout day come August 23rd through the 25th, because yes, the Eastbound Throwdown is going to occur at Spooky Nook outside of Lancaster. This is one of the Continental Cups for the Women's Flat Track Derby Association playoffs leading up to the finals, which will be held in Montreal, Canada this year. I believe it's the first time they're actually going to hold the final competition outside the United States. But we are going to host the Eastern North American Regional Roller Derby Tournament, which means we're going to get like all these teams who are qualified to go to try to get to the finals will all be coming to us. And they'll be playing on those 3 days, 23rd, 24th, and 25th of August. And tickets go on sale for that, as you saw. I'll show it again. Tickets go on sale June 17th. And you can find out more about this on our website, Dutchland Rollers, Dutchlandrollers.com. You will see information about that. This is a big deal for us. Huge. It's a huge deal. And Spooky Nook Sports, it's all indoors. It is actually the largest indoor sports facility in North America. Yeah. This is going to be a big deal. And notice, we got a pretty red rose. Yeah, because Lancaster, red rose. We're playing York today, white rose. It's going to be the War of the Roses today. Yeah. Technically speaking, if you want to apply some history geek shit to it, today will be the War of the Roses bout. Lancaster, the city of the red rose, versus York, the city of the white rose. Now is the winter of our discontent. Make glorious summer by the son of York. Opening lines to Richard III, which was all about the War of the Roses. Yeah, so we're one house in the War of the Roses. I skate for the red rose. I defend the red rose. So, yeah. There. Yeah, this week was light on practice. I mean, we had practice. We had a scrimmage. We had our scrimmage on Monday night, and it was really good. We had, a lot of the blitz players. Now that our season's over, we've got blitz players that are hurt. We've got blitz players that are taking time off. So we mix things up, and I was actually going out all the time in this, and I was actually doing pretty good. I can't complain. I had one penalty, one penalty, forearm penalty, which was stupid, but I did it. But I'm getting better. I was out there every other time. And I did that the scrimmage before, too, going out every other time. And I'm able to do this more often now. So, which means I hope that when home team season comes around, I'm in good enough shape and I'm much better from practicing and whatnot, that I'll be able to be part of a legitimate pack all the time. And I'll be going out every other time to play, because that's what you do when you're in a pack. We have 2 packs and you go out every other time. You play with the same people all the time. You learn their movements. And I was talking to somebody. It was really kind of funny because there were more. It was almost all stars that time, and they split us up and they embedded some of our blitz players with the all stars. And I was actually talking with a couple of my teammates, and I said I was having the opposite issue tonight that I had when I first started, and that was when I was learning how to scrimmage and learning how to play leading up to my home team assessment in February. I spent a lot of time working with all-star players. And when I did my actual scrimmage assessment, I actually had to go out and work more with blitz players. And I can remember telling one of my coaches, I had to do some adjustment because I wasn't used to working with the blitz players. I wasn't used to, I didn't know what they wanted. I didn't know how they did things. And so it was throwing me off just a little bit in terms of not actually being on the same page as they were. Well, flash forward, that was February. Flash forward 3 months, and I'm out with the all-star players, and I said, I'm having just a touch of trouble knowing what to do because I've been with the blitz players for 3 months now. And I've gotten used to what they want, and I've gotten used to their rhythms, and I've gotten used to the way they do things. And all of a sudden I'm back with the all-star players who have developed differently over the last 3 months as well. So I said it was a little disconcerting because you're all of a sudden, wait a minute, I haven't been working with these guys in so long, I don't know what to do. It's getting better, but it was just like, holy shit. I've gotten so used to being a blitz player. Now I got to switch gears and, be an all-star player, which I'm not. But yeah, scrimmage was good. Feeling good, feeling strong. Yeah. Season's winding down. All we've got this week, we have season and review on Monday. So I don't even know if it's going to be a real practice. We'll be told ahead of time whether we'll be gearing up or not. But it will be a season and review. I think technically speaking, I don't know what we're going to do. I think tomorrow, Monday night, is our last Monday night practice. So travel team practice is, it's coming to an end. And then Wednesday is what we call our fun scrimmage. It's going to be a legit scrimmage, but it's going to be more fun than anything. Guess we will probably play Jammer at some point. Yeah, because fun scrimmage. Let's have fun being a jammer. Why not? I mean, we had a lot of people going out who were playing Jammer. Like a couple of scrimmages ago, I actually went out and played Jammer. So thank you, Woomer, for getting me to go out and do. I didn't do it this last scrimmage because it was more like we were working on, getting the all-stars ready to go. And we did. We played good. We slowed down. We did good. So, and then Thursday night is game night. And it's going to be snacks and games. And we'll do stuff on skates and have fun. And then that'll be it. It'll basically be like, after that, you want to come to practice, you can come to practice. It's going to be real informal. No formal plans. You want to come and work on stuff, and I will, because I need to work on shit. If I do nothing but sit there and do plows for an hour and a half, I will do those. I need to work on that. I want to get that down. That's one-on-one blocking. and plowing is really, for the summer, that is the thing I want to work on the most, because I need to improve that. Because next year when I try out for the Blitz, and I will, don't look at me like that. Oh, Cassidy, why are you saying that? Because I'm going to do it. Yeah, come next January when they said travel team tryouts, who's doing this? And I'm going to go, me. I'm trying out for the Blitz again. Yeah, you can look at me like that, Lynette. Just get the little eyes looking at me like, who, you? Yes, I'll be trying out for and that's one of the things they test you on is one-on-one blocking, one-on-one tracking the jammer. And I want to be better at that. Because my goal for next year is to be part of a pack with the Blitz, not to be the alternate for the Blitz, to actually be part of a pack for the Blitz, so that I'm going out every other time. And I'm in that line every other time. I'm in the wall every other jam. And somebody else can go in for me as the alternate once in a while. Yeah, that's my goal for next year, is to actually get in a pack for the Blitz and get a lot more playing time. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. So that means I've got to step up my shit. I got to get better. And one-on-one blocking, plowing, that's one of the things I really need to work on this summer to get better, to be able to go up. Like Brawless told us when we started as Tots, everything you're going to do here at DDR is a test. You're always going to be tested. And I'm going to get tested next year. Again, there will be a travel team assessment, a travel team test. And, I want my score to go up higher than it was this year, because I want to be part of a pack. And I think I've improved in terms of the ability to play this year. So if I can get on a home team and I get more playing experience, it's going to help me when I do my travel team assessment next year for 2020, for the 15th anniversary of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. Yes, I want to be that player who shows up at every Blitz bout and goes out and plays at every Blitz bout. See, I've had a taste of it. I've played in 3 games this year. Battle of the Freshies and 2 Blitz games. I've had a taste. I always used to say, if I played in just one game, I'd be happy. You know what? I'm not. I played in 1 game. I'm ready to keep playing. Really, seriously. If I had only played in 1 game this year, I could tell you right now, I would not be happy. Yeah, seriously. So my short-term goal right now is to get better at one-on-one blocking. My semi-short-term, semi-long-term goal is to get on the home team and get a lot more playing time in. And I'm not going to say I expect it, but I'm going to bust my ass to be able to get to that point. Any expectation that I am able to do that with the home team is going to be based on what I can do. So, and then my long-term goal for next year is to return to the Blitz and be part of either Pack 1 or Pack 2. That's my goal. That's my long-term goal for 2020 is to be part of Pack 1 or Pack 2 and be a member of Pack 1 or Pack 2 who's going to go out every other time and play. Yeah. So there you go. There I am. I got goals. Baby. I want to play. Yeah. If I can get 6 games in this year, that'll be good. And I'm hoping in the meantime, I see like some open scrimmages with other leagues that pop up. And if I see those, I'm going to try to sign up for a couple of them because that's a good way of getting playing time as well. And I am able to do that, so. Have to have a shout out. We had a good time. We had our Hangar Jam last Saturday. I talked about this in the video, and we had a good time there. It was a great time, great bands. It was a really cool atmosphere, kind of a festival atmosphere. The last band of the day was a Beastie Boys tribute band, and they were excellent, really. I mean, everybody was like, yeah, we know this. Yeah, Beastie Boys. Yeah, I know the Beastie Boys. Come on. I know some of their shit. Yeah, I remember the first time the Beastie Boys went out on tour, they were the opening act for Run DMC, and that was a damn high bar to be set. And it's to be expected. When you go out as an opening act for a band, they basically don't want you as the opening act to be as good as the main act, the headliners. And back in the day of rock and roll, back in the 60s and 70s, if you were too good, you got fired from the tour because the headliners were like, people are coming to see you. One of the strangest setups that I ever heard of was it involved Emerson, Lake and Palmer and ZZ Top. Really? And I believe it was ZZ Top on one tour. It was probably in the early 70s. I have to go back and take a look at this. But on one tour, I think it was ZZ Top actually opened shows on the tour for Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's like, who the hell put that package together? That is like two completely separate genres of music, prog rock and just basic low down dirty ass rock and roll blues. And of course they got rid of ZZ Top after like 2 weeks because it was like too many people were getting into their shit. But I was like, who the hell came up with that concept? Who thought that ZZ Top was going to be a good opening act for Emerson, Lake and Palmer? Seriously, come on. Who did that? Yeah, there have been instances in the past where opening acts, they got fired from tours because they were too good. And yeah, I remember when the Beastie Boys toured with Run DMC and how the critics were really just putting the Beastie Boys down, talking about how lame they were and shit like that. And then you look back at it and you go, yeah, but they were touring with Run DMC, who at that time were like the top echelon of what was then emerging as, rap. And well, yeah, they had Run DMC. Run DMC picked the Beastie Boys because it won the competition. And the Beasties hung around for a while. They proved that they had what it took to hang in there. So, yeah, weren't as lame as people thought they were. I think probably one of the best tour packages was Nine Inch Nails and David Bowie. And that was when David Bowie was going out on his, I think it was Outland tour. I can never remember the name of that album. I gotta look it up. Outside. It was the Outside tour. And Outside was like one of the greatest albums Bowie's ever put out. I mean, seriously, it's just an incredible album. It's a concept album. It's one of his few concept albums. I mean, you can kind of look at some of his albums and he'll tell you there's a running theme going on in it, but Outside really was a concept album for him. And when he went out on tour, they had just released the album and there was like no buildup for this album. None whatsoever. And he toured with Nine Inch Nails. Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails were the opening act, which kind of fit because Outside's kind of a strange album. And a lot of people were actually, from what I'd read, a lot of people were actually leaving during the Bowie half because they didn't understand. They were there like, we want to hear David play the hits, and he was playing all of Outside. The band performed the entire album. And from people who did stay to watch the show said it was one of the most incredible performances Bowie ever did. Everything was so tight and the music was just so great. If you stayed and watched the show, you really got a performance that was beyond belief. And the way they would actually do it is Nine Inch Nails would come out first and perform. And then about 45 minutes into that set, Bowie would come out with some of his band. And they would kind of perform like bits and pieces of each other's music. And then Bowie's band would take over, I guess, with a couple of the backing musicians from Nine Inch Nails. And they would just kind of segue the whole thing through that. And it was, as far as headliner opening act tours went, it probably was one of the best couplings of acts you could ask for. Very unusual, but also very great. It was Bowie, you know. And Bowie didn't do stuff half-assed. You know, when he put something together like that, there was usually some sort of underlying madness to the whole business, and that's what it was. Wish I could have seen that. Bowie was one of the acts that I never got to see. Almost got to see him one time. Jeez, way back. I think it was Serious Moonlight. Yeah, I almost got to see him during the Serious Moonlight tour, which came out after Let's Dance. And again, relied on somebody to get me tickets. They didn't get me tickets. That happened quite a few times to me. That actually happened like 4 or 5 times to me, where I would rely on somebody to get me tickets. And happened twice with Genesis. It's like, you gonna get me tickets? Yeah, I'll get you tickets. Did you get me tickets? Nah. That's why I never got to see Genesis, never got to see Bowie. But I got to see a lot of other bands. I can't complain. Got yelled at once because I was trying to get tickets for McCartney and Wings on their first tour, and it was a madhouse. I was third in line to get tickets. And this was back in the day when Ticketmaster would just sell you like 100 tickets at a time if you wanted them. And the first guy in line ordered 120 tickets because people were literally coming up to him and handing him money. So he ordered 120 tickets, and the computers were overloaded for selling tickets. Because people were ordering so many tickets in blocks. Because the same thing was happening at all these other Ticketron. The first guy in line, had like 20 people coming up to him going, "Give me 4 tickets." I actually, at one point, had enough money to buy like 80 tickets. Seriously, because people saw I was third in line and they were handing me money saying, "Give me 2 tickets, give me 4 tickets." So I'm trying to remember all of this in my head. And it was like at one point I had enough money for 80 tickets. So the second person in line ended up getting like 95, 96 tickets. I forget. It was close to 100. And then they got to me and that was it. Tickets were sold out. Yeah. That's how bad it was for McCartney and Wings. Tickets sold out. Third in line, and I could not get tickets for McCartney and Wings. And I was actually buying tickets for someone else who then bitched about the fact that I didn't get him tickets. Now, when I asked somebody to get me tickets, what ended up happening was they just never went. They never went to go get the tickets. They were like, "Well, I'm going to go get the tickets later." Oh, I got there and they were all sold out. Thanks. This was a case of I got up extra early because this dude would not take off time from work. He was like, "I can't take off time from work." Why not? You work in the steel mills. You get a lot of vacation time. You get a lot of PTO. You could take time off. So I got up early to go to get in line. Couldn't get the tickets. I came back, gave him his money back, explained what happened, just said it was a madhouse and they were sold out. I was third in line and they only sold tickets to the first two people in line. They sold about 250 tickets to those two people. And he bitched about it. He was like, "Well, if I'd been there, I'd have gotten tickets." I literally like threw money at him. And I was like, "Well, maybe you should have took the fucking time off and got the tickets yourself. You ungrateful bastard." Seriously. It's like you're going to bitch at me and say, "Well, if I had went, I'd have gotten the tickets." Well, your lazy ass didn't go because you didn't want to miss out on a day's work. And you could have called in sick and nobody would have said anything. I even told him that. I was like, "You could have called in sick. Nobody would have said anything." Asshole. The guy was. He was an asshole. I've seen his brother out on Facebook. A couple of times I've been meaning to go, "Hey, how's your asshole brother?" But yeah, I was so pissed off. That's why this guy was. It was just yeah, and then he spends like 20 minutes belittling me about how if he had gone instead, he would have gotten tickets. It's like, well, you didn't go. So shut the fuck up. I hate people like that. I really do. I did. He was God. He was such an asshole. He was. So I'm done. In more ways than one. Like I said, shoot a couple of bucks my way. I think I need about $250 to get through the rest of the month. Right now, I'm at a negative $28 to my name, and I've got $26 on a credit card, which is going to fill up my tank today. That'll get me to York, and that'll get me to practice on Monday night. I don't know if I'm going to practice tomorrow night now. It all depends. I have enough gas to get to York, and I'll probably fill up coming back. If I want to go to practice tomorrow, that'll get me there. But I may just hold off on going to practice tomorrow. I may just save my gas until Monday. And the fact is, I've already hit my practice requirements for the month. Go figure. Yeah, I've hit my practice requirements for the month. I only needed to do 5 practices this month. I've already done 7, which is what the All-Stars had to do. So I've already hit my practice requirements if I were an All-Star. Yeah, so if I go Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so I'm probably going to hold off on traveling to Lancaster tomorrow. I'll probably go Monday night, and then Wednesday, my doctor's appointment is at 6 p.m., and I'll just stay for the scrimmage. And hope my tax refund has come sometime next week so I can go for game night on Thursday. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do. But like I said, if you send me any cash, tell me who you are. I will make certain you get the money back. Seriously. Just send it straight to PayPal. I will make certain you get your money back. As soon as my tax refund comes in, I will send you the dinero. I just need to cover a couple $100 until the end of this month. Mostly for gas, although I still need food. I've got like I said, I think I've got enough food for 8 days. So by this time next week, you can see me like, I haven't eaten in 24 hours. I know, and I'm making light of it. But you know what? It's much better that I make light of it and joke about it instead of the way I was last year. I was basically sitting here with a gun in my mouth, almost. Last year at this time was not a really good time. I remember at this time, while I was on suspension, my old league was having a game that I could not come to unless I actually bought a ticket. Yeah. Big difference, because my current league is having a game and I am going to be there on a comp list filming. Big difference. The old is gone. Today is the new. Today, everything is different. Everything is better. That's the way it should be. So take care, everybody. I will see you next week. Let's hope I got some good news. Talk to you later. Bye.